Hello, this is Jennifer with Make My Heart Smile, and today I wanted to share with you different things I've been crocheting, what I've been up to, how I've been experimenting with different kinds of yarns, and hopefully you will find it helpful if you've ever wanted to crochet your own kitchen sponges or bath washcloths or soap bags or Swiffer pads. So we're going to talk about all kinds of things where you can wash them, reuse them, and just reduce, reuse, recycle. That's something I live by and love to advocate for whenever I can. And so if I can save some money, right? Who doesn't like to save some money? By making my own instead of having to buy the refills or having to deal with running out of them right when you need one. um, you can always crochet your own. So if you've ever thought about it, wanted to do it, or if you've ever seen a vendor at a craft fair selling these kinds of things and you're like, how does that really work? Do those really work? Let's talk about that. So let's start with Swiffer. I use the Swiffer duster quite frequently, and I found a pattern. I already had some yellow cotton yarn and I already had some chenille, and this pattern was pretty quick to work up. It just slides on and off there. I can wash this. This is cotton, and dry it and reuse it, and I am super excited about this. I might also cut up some felt strips, pieces of felt, not felt, I'm sorry, fleece, into thin strips and tie those on, make another one, and that might be a little bit more shaggy. And so I'm going to experiment with that. And then Swiffer. Let's talk about Swiffer wet jet pad and a Swiffer dry pad. I was so excited at Michael's to find colors and their loops and threads, cotton, that basically match Swiffer's colors. So excited. That kind of thing just makes my day. And so this is pretty dummy proof, where this is the dry. If you use Swiffer, they're green. It's green handled. And I found this pattern, of course, online. Love to support all my fellow crocheters out there. They're wonderful tutorials. I found one that had some good texture to it, but also had good spacing in between the stitches so that when it's washed, it dries very well. You don't want tight closed stitches necessarily. I mean, this is already as tight as I would want, just because it takes a long time to dry out if you want to line dry it. So if you are drying it in the dryer, that of course shouldn't be a problem, but this works phenomenally well. And make a set of them, and I mean, they'll last for years. Really excited about that one. And then I found a pattern and modified it myself for the wet jet. There were a lot of patterns for the dry, not as many for the wet. Love this pattern. The wet, the jets have to have space to spray. So this pad goes on, and then there's always that scrubby strip, right? So I'm like, what am I going to do for that? I definitely want to have a scrubby strip. So also at Hobby Lobby, they have Yarn Bee, their house brand, has a whole section. There was a whole section in the yarn aisle for this Scrubology yarn. This is 2.0. This is the cotton. And then there was this Scrubology that I'll talk about in a little bit, in all different kinds of colors. And then I also found this. So most of these unusually textured things I found at Hobby Lobby. And I'm not being paid for that plug. I just found they had the best selection in my local Hobby Lobby. This is amazingly weird to crochet with. It's not too rough, but it's enough. And it was easy to crochet with. I could see my stitches, and I don't think it'll scratch my floors, but it'll be enough to get some of those spots, that you just need a little bit more scrub than just the cotton yarn will do for you. And so I was super excited to modify that a little bit, that pattern, and make that my own. Those have been working well too. Toss it in the the washer when I'm finished, make a few of them, and toss them in the washer and dryer, and set to go for the next time. So this is super fun. I decided to do some kitchen sponges with. It worked up very easily. Surprisingly, I thought I wasn't going to be able to see my stitches, but because there is, the fabric through it, you can see your stitches fairly well. So made some kitchen scrubbies. Lathers very well, dries very well. Love it. Make up a whole set of these. This also came in different colors. So love this. Would definitely recommend. This is just double crochets in the round, and then single crochets to kind of give it a little ridge. Wonderful pattern. Let's talk about this one. Okay, obviously do you hear that? It's scrubby. Easiest to work with, obviously, because it almost looks exactly just like any yarn. But it absorbs. So it's basically pretty tube-like. And I don't have any left because I made up a whole bunch of these. Really easy to work with. If we can focus that, it's kind of tubular. It's got some, I'd say it's, gosh, at least a size 4. I believe I used a size 5.5 millimeter hook with it, crochet hook. So not too super bulky, but it absorbs water like so much that it doesn't dry out as well. And especially if you have a closed textured stitch like this thermal stitch, I mean, this will take a couple days to dry out, in my opinion. I mean, and who likes to pick up a wet, damp sponge the next time you go to wash dishes? Like, it should be dried out, in my opinion. So I would recommend, if you work with it, leave lots of airspace. I mean, leave lots of holes, really loose. And this looked like a little lemon slice to me, so I thought that was cute. Really fast to work up, scrubs really well, doesn't dry as fast. So that would be my honest review on that. Let's talk about this guy. It's nylon. It's like probably the weirdest thing I have ever crocheted with. Very hard to see the stitches. This is Yarn Bee, actually. I'm surprised Hobby Lobby even sold it, but because I don't believe they carry Lion Brand. But Stitch Soak Scrub. It's plastic. It's probably a size 3 or 4. You can't see what you're doing. And although you can see stitches here, not easy. This, I loved this idea because we've got our scrubby side, our soft side, but although this variegated cotton, again, from Michaels, loops and threads, super fun. I mean, it's almost too pretty to even clean with, right? Like, who wants to get this dirty? This is going to take a while to dry out, probably. But you got your soft side, your scrubby side. Then I had the idea of just combining them so I can see my stitches, make it a little looser, make it just single layer, dries out a little bit better, faster, still's got some scrub to it, but much easier to work with once I combined it with cotton. So, like that. This, look how chunky this is. I mean, are you kidding me? I love the spiral design, but I mean, if you got a big job, this would be great, but I combined this with cotton, again, so I could see my stitches, but this will take a while to dry out. If that doesn't bother you, hey, but this alone will dry out probably the fastest of all of them, but very hard to crochet with. And then probably my favorite. Let's get to that. This was definitely my favorite. Now, I wouldn't say that it's got as much bite as this, and this. It is wonderful to work with. Comes in all of these pretty variegated colors. does have some scrub to it. I would use it more in the bath. I made a kitchen sponge and I made that pretty ribbed. I again combined cotton with it to give it more substance, but adding that cotton will increase your dry time. I used a large hook, left lots of holes. It's just front post, back post, double crochets. It's great size. I mean, it's the size of your standard kitchen scrubby, scrub sponge. Um, Dries fairly well on its own. So this is a little soap bag. So inside I've got what's left of my homemade soap bar. It'll fit any standard soap bar size. It's got the little drawstring. It's the soap saver. It can hang in the shower. Obviously, this was just this yarn alone, and I did it really loose. It dries out great, lathers really well, and then this can also be your washcloth. So no need for a loofah, no need for those kind of throwaway little puffball loofahs. This can be washed and reused. Love it. So little soap bags, great to use. I'll probably make more washcloths with this, even baby washcloths. Great idea. So if you really have a tough mess on your hands where you need some really, really serious scrub action, this probably isn't for you. This I would probably, use more on my skin. And that would be a great exfoliator. It's not too rough, not too soft where you don't feel like you're, getting the job done. So highly recommend this guy. This guy's probably the winner for me. Anyone else write ideas on the label of their yarn? Or is that just me? Or have Post-it notes all over on different ideas of what to do with their yarn. I hope you found this helpful. I have been loving just experimenting. I like to experiment and figure out what works, and then just make a whole bunch of that. So it's probably my favorite, but love them all, really. I would try them all. Hope you found this helpful and enjoyable. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to follow along to see more, because I definitely will be posting more. Happy crafting! Take care.